Hello everybody and welcome to another MSTR video. It's become a tradition now on Sundays to get the buy flag, the buy sign. Sailor thinking Bitcoin is on sale and of course letting us know he bought. Hopefully that is a big buy that we're getting tomorrow. Hopefully, because things, in my view, are about to look pretty rosy for Bitcoin. We are still celebrating the great news of Friday, which is we're probably getting a rate cut. And a rate cut cycle is about to begin. And I think we are in for about 2.5 to 3 years worth of rate cuts, which will eventually get us back down to zero or near zero. At least that is my macro take. Of course, many people disagree, but that's okay. You look at the numbers, you look at how much debt in the system there is. Rates have to be at zero. We have no choice. The dollar cannot be saved, which is why we Bitcoin, and this is why I love Bitcoin, and this is why also I celebrate Polymarket and the target rate, the CME FedWatch tool, 85% telling us a 25 basis points cut. Polymarket, 77% odds telling us Polymarket might be a little slow here to update. My guess is that these rates, these odds will go up over the next few days because the Fed speech was pretty clear on Friday. It seems like a rate cut is really coming. And of course, macro, right? Bitcoin is going to respond to macro. Bitcoin has already responded to macro. That was pretty violent of a move on Friday. Think about that. Bitcoin moved from 111,000 to 117,000 in next to no time. And you can see that move in the price of Bitcoin. And of course, the weekend came, and the weekend is known for price action manipulation. You can't, like a highly positive macro event can escape manipulation and eventually makes it pop and makes it go up. But unfortunately, because Bitcoin is way less traded on the weekends, because TradFi is closed on the weekends, Bitcoin is ripe for manipulation on the weekends. And I will give some praise and promote this X account, Marty Party Music. I've been following him for quite a while now, and as you follow him and as you start playing these liquidation levels, and I'm not a trader, right? It's also it's also very good to stay in your lane. Like, I don't do trading, I don't do short-term stuff, but I get frustrated, just like everybody else. I get frustrated, and Marty Party here has helped me understand what is going on, which is Binance manipulation, and it is so clear. You can see the more reddish, orangish the color is, the more it is imminent that Binance will move the price to liquidate. And you either liquidate the shorts, the longs by taking the price down, you liquidate the longs, and then you go back up and you liquidate the shorts by taking the price up. So when the stock goes up, people who are short are getting wrecked. When Bitcoin goes down, people who are long are getting wrecked. And of course, it seems very counterintuitive, but I've been observing this pretty closely for at least the past 6 months, and it's so uncanny, it's so crazy, like that, like it literally stops where the line is drawn. There's clear manipulation in the price of Bitcoin over the short term, but of course that manipulation does not hold whenever we have big macro events. And that rate cut mid-September, that's going to be upcoming. That's going to be another big event, which I think the manipulation will have a hard time keeping in check. But this is so real. There's more manipulation of Bitcoin than there are of stocks. And I'm not a trader, but I think it's important to be cognizant of that. And unfortunately, we can't really read in a move from 117 to 114. We can't really read that because as soon as the markets open back up on Monday, Bitcoin should have moves that are much truer and much closer to reality. Anyways, enough about trading. Sailor bought more. I'm very happy. Sailor bought more. I hope he tapped the ATM since he tweeted that on Monday. I have been happy. He's going to use the ATM ATM again. Using the ATM makes a lot of sense right now. Why does it make so much sense? Because look, ever since Monday, we've recovered on the price to NAV. This is very clear on this chart. This is from strategytracker.com, by the way. We are very clearly bouncing on the 1.5x mNAV, and we're going back up. So you know, MSTR is going back to more regular trading patterns, and of course we don't hear those complaints in the comment section. You know, people calling me crazy if I couldn't see it. Like, it's like, yeah, I've seen the compression, but now I'm also seeing the bounce back, right? I'm also seeing the bounce back, yet I get no comments. Right now I get no comments telling me that, yeah, actually MSTR outperformed Bitcoin. Like it's like you get the negative comments, but you don't get the positive comments. Yeah, MSTR, guess what? It's now outperforming Bitcoin again. This was yesterday, plus 4% for IBIT, plus 6% for MSTR, right for 1.5x. Right for investor, exactly what was in the investor presentation, where Saylor, you know, talks about MSTR in the context of a refinery and says MSTR is 1.5x Bitcoin. This is exactly what we got on Friday. I get no comment telling me, oh, the outperformance is back. But the outperformance is back, seemingly, and I don't know how long it's going to last, and some days it's going to be there and some days it's not going to be there, but it's like you only hear the negativity, you only hear the complaints. You know, I don't see a lot of people, you know, celebrating about the 27x your money in 5 years on MSTR stock. Zooming out is very, very important. I don't know what mNAV is going to be over the long run. I don't think it's going to be 2.5, but, you know, oscillating between 1.5 and 2, I think it's a pretty fair thing to do. And when you issue common ATM, common equity, when you issue common equity at like a 1.55 mNAV, like it's right now, you sell $1 for 55 cents over, right? You sell $1 for $1.55, you make 55 cents for every dollar of dilution. That's pretty darn good. I really like that. I mean, it's like, yeah, I would prefer it to be 2 or 2.5 as well, but 1.5 is really good. That's a good third in margin, if you think about it. That's a good third. You make about a 33% margin if you sell $1 for $1.50. Exactly, actually, not about. So it makes a little bit more than a 33% margin on selling the main product. The main product, of course, being the common. The common is the main product, the common stock. That's the product. The buyers of the stock are the product. What does MSTR sell? MSTR sells high performance BTC. It sells higher performance BTC than an ETF. It sells a BTC accumulation machine. Therefore, the common stock is the main product. And issuing that common stock, selling that common stock to new buyers is how we're going to reach this Bitcoin guidance. Saylor did a pivot, and he did the right pivot, because reaching this guidance is very important to the long-term common shareholder. And Saylor works only for the long-term common shareholder. Anyways, moving on to the preferred. Let's talk about the preferred. So, and of course, you know, I kind of gauge popularity of a topic of a stock with this channel now. It's you know, I'm very grateful and excited to have people click on my videos, but this gives me insider information, insider data. So yesterday, I think I made a video which was pretty good about MSTR preferred, and the one that I bought Strike. I was all happy about that, and I walked through my process and stuff, and I even use a, you know, like it's kind of like a tactic of YouTube. It's like, you don't say which one you bought. So it's like I even had like a hook that people have to click to figure out which of the 4 preferred I bought. And look at the stats: 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. So what does that mean? That means nobody clicked. Like if you in YouTube lingo, when you have your past 10 videos and one of them is 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, you usually don't want to make that video again. That's kind of how YouTube works. And I'll tell you, if I do a regular MSTR video and I just talk about the common, it's always going to be either the first, the second, or the third video best out of the last 10. It's always first, third, or third. Whenever I cover MSTR, it's always on the top, always the top 3. There's no such thing as an MSTR video, and that's why you see so many channels who just do a bunch of MSTR videos now, because there's no such thing as an MSTR video who's not top 3 in your YouTube algo. Not this one. Why is this one so low? And it'd be interesting. Maybe I'll do another test and I'll do another MSTR preferred video to see how low it gets. Why is it so low? Because nobody cares. It seems, I feel like nobody cares about the preferred. The preferred are so early. They are so early. It's anecdotal evidence, of course, but it seems like very, very few people care about the preferreds right now. There's little retail that owns these preferred. Very few people own these preferreds. And so, of course, these preferred, like I've always said, it's opening up a black hole in the bond market. Stretch the latest preferred. You're opening up a black hole in the currency market. And that's great. But most people care about MSTR common. They care about the legacy product, the first product that MSTR came up with, which was selling their common share. They care about that the most. And so thinking that you're just going to sell the preferred, I mean, it's just like an auto company getting rid of their best-selling cars, right? That move of stopping the MSTR preferred in Insight is always 2020, but that move was no good. It's kind of like Toyota stopping to sell the Toyota Corolla. Toyota is not going to be good if they stop selling the Corolla. It's the best-selling product. So you should totally keep selling the best-selling product, because when I cover the best-selling product of MSTR, either MSTR common stock, the videos are 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 most views, right? When I cover the preferred, I get one of the least performing videos of the channel. And I'm assuming that's why a lot of people don't talk much about the preferred either. And let me conclude talking about the preferred and telling you that the preferreds right now, relative to where they were even a month and a half back, those preferred may not, must not, are not very attractive to issue to MSTR, because except Strife. Strife is good. But he's not going to issue a lot of Strife. Remember, the ATM on Strife is the smallest approved ATM. So Strife is the top of a capital structure of preferred. So he's not going to issue that much Strife. Yeah, issuing Strife right now is good because the price to NAV, you're issuing $100 PAR for $111. So you make $11 instantly when you issue Strife. In addition, of course, to the torque being 30% ARR for Bitcoin and paying out 9% yield. So you're paying 9% yield. And its effective is actually 8%. The yield is actually 8% as far as MSTR is concerned. So as far as MSTR is concerned, you're really paying an 8% yield on Strife, and you're making 30 on Bitcoin. So 22% is your torque. That's your torque on the borrowed money. And on top of that, you make $11 on price to par, because you're issuing a notional value 100 preferred stock. You're issuing for 111. It makes sense to issue Strife. Please, Sailor, issue Strife right now. But it doesn't make sense to issue these. Like very little, because like think about Stride. 100 par, you're selling it for 79. That's no good, right? It would have been decent, I think, on July 11 or June 30th to issue it for 95. Okay, you only lose $1. That's pretty good, right? A stretch still. I mean that's still not good. We want to see Sailor issue these when they trade above 100. When they don't trade above 100, I don't think Sailor should issue them, because you're literally losing money if they don't trade above 100. They have to trade above 100. Sailor should focus on this one. And you can see even Strike for much of the past few months, Strike was trading above 100. So it was very accretive. Like most of the summer, except in recent days, but most of the summer it was super accretive to issue Strike, because Strike was trading at or above 100, right? Strike had a nice spike for a little bit of time at $120. So if you issue Strike at 120, you make $20 because the notional value is 20. So anyways, I understand why he needs to do the common, because selling, like the best preferred right now, you can sell it at 1.11 mNAV equivalent. So it's not mNAV, it's pPAR, price to par. But the best preferred right now, you can issue it at 1.11. So why wouldn't you want to issue at 1.5 the common equity? You definitely want to issue at 1.5 the common equity. And you know, and I think there perhaps is a misunderstanding in the market of how attractive these are. We don't have enough history right? We don't really know if, for example, for Stride, we don't really know if and when or how he's going to skip those dividends. My guess is he will not skip the dividend on Stride. And over time, if you see Stride with no skipped dividend, it's going to become more and more valuable. But you can see the BTC rating on Stride is almost a 5. It's better than most prefers out there who don't have cash backing up the preferred. Most preferred, you issue the money, you take the money, you invest it in a business endeavor like new stores or new buildings, right? He took your money, put it in Bitcoin, and gives you BTC rating of 5x the Bitcoin on the balance sheet, backing the notional value of Stride, and Stride still yields 12.5%. I mean, this is ridiculous, because if you believe in Bitcoin, there's no way you think these are junks. Like, if you believe in Bitcoin, you would never think these are junks, because look at Strife. Strife yields a 9% yield. It's backed by almost 8x the Bitcoin. There's almost 8 times more money backing Strife than the notional value. And it's the highest in the capital structure. So these BTC ratings, even for the quote-unquote riskiest of his preferred, where he has a mechanism where he can skip it, where he can skip the payment, even that, you're still at a 5, which is higher than most. The market is sleeping on the preferreds. And understandably so. I mean, it's a new product. New products sometimes take a while to catch on. But I see it on YouTube with this being the least popular video in a while. On that topic. So I see this on YouTube, right? And you see this on X, and you see this with people at their broker. Some people don't have access to preferreds. Preferreds are not on Robinhood. Like, what is Robinhood doing? Preferreds are not on Robinhood. Yeah, you have to go to a legacy broker to get them, or semi-legacy broker to get them. I mean, are preferreds available abroad? That's another big question, right? MSTR stock is available in Europe, no problem. Are preferreds available in Europe or in Korea? This is like all of the questions that I ask. So yeah, over time, the preferreds will be the main game in town. Right now, the main game is the ATM. The ATM is back, and I am happy, and I am celebrating, and this is a great weekend. So anyways, this was not financial advice, not investment advice, only entertainment on this channel. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.